Do you have a knack for spine-chilling experience? If yes, we have you covered. With centuries of history, several haunted places have cropped up all over the world. Whether these are simply abandoned places or sites of pure horror, you'll have to experience them for yourself. Here are the 10 haunted places with real ghost stories. Number 10. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. This place was built in 1864 and called Weston State Hospital, where different mental illnesses were treated. The asylum was so massive that there were thousands of patients with little to no maintenance. This sent a lot of patients over the edge, and only in a few years, more than 400 to 500 patients lost their lives. Some were attacked by their inmates, while some took their own lives. The asylum was shut down, and the building was used as a military post during the Civil War. However, so many people have had violent encounters with ghosts living in the asylum. People believe that these ghosts are insane and could even harm individuals. To date, locals are afraid to even set foot in this troubled asylum. Number 9. Fort Mifflin. This fort was built in 1771, and it's what's remaining of the Revolutionary War structure that's still present. The fort has witnessed the massacre of hundreds of people, and most of them are still wandering in the hallways. People who have been to the fort claim that a woman screams at night, and it could get so loud that people have called the police several times. People have also seen children disappearing in the hallways and a scary man without a face that will haunt them for the rest of their life. People avoid going to the buildings in Fort Mifflin because some of these ghosts are very violent and aggressive. Number 8. Haunted Mansion. This exquisite mansion in Michigan is the scariest place you'll ever witness. It's said to be home to several tortured spirits. According to urban legend, some people checked the cellar of this house because of a foul smell that was taking over the whole neighborhood. But they found dozens of bodies in the wine cellar with their torso having a very specific symbol. It was a full circle, and people believe that these people were sacrificed by some cult and their ghost is still seen wandering down the alley. People are terrified to even cross the street near Haunted Mansion at night, and it has become an unsung story of troubled souls. Number 7. Villisca Axe Murder House. This place in Iowa is truly the stuff of your nightmares because of what happened here. On the 10th of June 1912, a lady named Mary Peckham realized that her neighbors have been quiet, and no one has come out to clean the yard either. She knocked on their door, but no one answered. Soon, the police got involved, and what they discovered was horrifying. Inside the house, there were 8 dead bodies on their beds, and someone killed them with an axe. The killer was never found, and the house has since become a resting place for 8 ghosts. When it was open for visitors, people reported incidents of shadows following them across the hall and hearing painful noises at night. It was like the visitors were also reliving that experience, which is why only some adventurous people ever visit Villisca Murder House. Number 6. Toyama Park. This lush green park in Tokyo is a famous tourist attraction in daylight, but only a handful of people dare to enter this park at night. There's a very dark and twisted past behind this park, as it was used in World War II. It is reported that the Imperial Army used to conduct inhumane experiments on Chinese prisoners in their medical facility, which was located right at this park. These experiments were so absurd that most people lost their lives, and their ghosts still haunt this place. You could still hear the loud and painful screaming at night, and some people report that they heard loud crying noises, and someone followed them to their home. Number 5. The Catacombs. This underground cemetery was built in the 18th century, since there was no place in Paris for burying any more bodies. This underground dungeon has the remains of millions of people, and although it's a go-to place for tourists, its true colors are only seen at night. Some people report that the skulls on the wall start to move at night, and some even heard very loud noises, like someone yelling. And if you get lost in this long tunnel full of dead people, it's really hard to figure your way out of it. Number 4. Zvikov Castle. This castle is so mysterious that it gives goosebumps to people even hearing its name. This royal castle is now home to a magical imp who is not very friendly with the visitors. People have reported hearing loud noises, their cameras suddenly break, and even fires are extinguished. Besides, there have been reports of animals going insane inside the castle, and most people who dare to sleep in the castle lose their lives within a year with a spirit following them all along. Number 3. Moon River Brewery. The Moon River Brewery was first built in 1821, and since then, it became a home to violence. During the Civil War, many soldiers were even killed here. Not only this, but a Yankee was also mob-lynched inside this very brewery. Now the people working in this brewery think that bottles breaking and flying around are quite common. But the ghosts even go as far as pushing, slapping, and punching some guests, so it's really hard even for workers to stay in this brewery. Number 2. Calcasieu Courthouse. It is reported that in 1940, a prostitute ended a very wealthy man's life, and the trial continued for years. She was finally convicted after 3 separate trials because the entire court was taken aback by her beauty. However, the third jury finally convicted her, and she was the very first woman in the entire state to get the punishment of an electric chair. People working at the courthouse believe that they still smell burning hair, loud noises, and the woman even messes with the court equipment. Number 1. The Sultan's Palace. This French palace is the epitome of class and elegance, but its history makes it one of the most haunted places in the world. In the 1800s, there was a sultan who resided in this palace. He had dozens of wives and captured boys who were imprisoned inside this castle for the sultan's pleasure. But soon, someone came to the house for revenge and killed everyone in Sultan's family. The sultan wasn't even killed, but he was buried alive in this palace. Now, people complain that a very aggressive spirit attacks them whenever they visit this place. Dozens of women have even reported that someone gropes them and believes that it's the spirit of the perverted sultan. So, would you be willing to stay overnight at any of these places for $1 million? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.